Hello and welcome to Rockstar Manager. I'm Dr. K, the management professor, and this episode is all about networking and negotiating. While the two are unrelated, unless the situation calls for it, I thought we could tackle both in one episode. Before we get started, please subscribe to my channel by hitting the subscribe button down below, and also hit the notifications button so you'll see each time I post a new video. If you want to celebrate excellent work in your office, check out rockstar-manager.com for various gift and swag items. Now let's get started. Now let's talk about networking. Networking can be used personally or professionally. For example, if you want to find like-minded people around a particular topic, you can start to look for and build a network around that particular subject. For example, if I want to find a group of people who like wine, I start to reach out to current friends, family, or even other contacts, as well as I start to look for events where I might find such people. I'm essentially looking to build relationships to socialize around a particular topic. Similarly in business, people network to find experts in particular areas, help a cause or organization, to fill open positions, or most often when they are looking for a new role. McGraw-Hill defines networking as the ongoing process of building interconnected relationships for the purpose of politicking and socializing. In the professional arena, networks are fundamental to organizations. They provide ethical opportunities to learn about others as well as for others to learn about you. One skill helpful in the networking process is the 1-minute self-sell, otherwise known as your elevator speech. It can be described as an opening statement that quickly summarizes who you are and why you're there. It can include a little history and a little future. Here's what I mean. If I was going to share an example that relates back to my wine reference earlier, I could say something like this. Hi, I'm Dr. K, the management professor, and I've been to wineries all over the world and enjoy Italian wines in particular. I'm looking for a group of locals who might get together once a month to share a bottle or go to a wine tasting event. Is there anything like that in the area, or do you know anyone who might be interested in starting such a group? If I was going to give you a professional example, I would say something like this. I'm Dr. K, the management professor, and I'm currently an associate professor and love my job. I've been teaching in higher education for nearly 20 years, earning my PhD, MBA, and a number of certificates along the way. When I was an executive in the corporate world, I earned most of my certifications, and I'm looking to capitalize on my skills and advance my career. Are you aware of any openings in your organization? Here, you give a quick recap of your background or provide the why of what you're about to ask. Then efficiently state what connection you want to make. I think it's helpful to end with a question for the conversation to continue. A few of those examples would be, are you aware of any opening positions in your marketing department where my skills would be a good fit? How does my targeted future career sound to you? And the third question, do you know of any openings in my field? If you want to expand your network beyond those you already know, you may want to consider professional associations, conferences, trade shows, religious groups, social clubs, your local chamber of commerce, or a civic organization like the Knights of Columbus or Kiwanis. Attending events where you don't know anyone can be intimidating, so here are some questions to consider asking. What brought you here today? How long have you been doing what you've been doing, and or how long have you been with your organization? What upcoming trends or challenges do you see in your company or your industry? Ask or comment about the information on the person's name badge. Or you can ask, is there anyone you can suggest I speak with to learn more? This will start to build your secondary network. If you're at a conference, you can ask questions such as, are you presenting? Or what sessions have you attended or do you recommend? Hopefully you share contact information, so when you do, it's always important or quite helpful to send a follow-up note after your conversation. Just saying thanks, establishing the connection, and reiterating what your intentions are. If you can include attachments or something helpful to the other person, even better. Now let's talk about negotiating. Negotiating is the process in which two or more parties have something that the other party wants, and they attempt to come to an exchange agreement of some sort. It involves the use of power, influence tactics, and political behavior. Negotiating is actually a skill that's important to career management success. You're in luck because there's a process you can follow. First, it's helpful to remember that it's not just a deal, but a relationship. If you aren't comfortable pushing back, the exercise itself may be intimidating. Hopefully this quick process will help. The 4 steps in the negotiation process are 1. Planning, 2. Bargaining, 3. Possibly a postponement, and 4. Agreement or no agreement. Let's start with planning. In this step, you want to do your research, whether on the subject itself, like buying a car, or on the person. You want to set your objectives. What do you want, and what are your parameters? This is important. In this step, you want to think about what the other party wants, as well as anticipate potential questions or proposals the other side could make. After you do that, come up with different scenarios with options to consider, as well as trade-offs that you'd be willing to make. The next step is bargaining. Here you want to develop rapport, read reactions, and focus on what obstacles exist between both parties that prohibit the resolution. In general, it helps when you let the other party make the first offer. This way you have an idea of where they stand. From there, you listen and focus on meeting the other party's needs. I cannot stress this enough. Don't be too quick to give in, and be sure to ask for something in return. If you give in, then you move to what you want, and then they say no, it's hard to go backwards. I suggest you put it all on the table, meaning you make a list of what you want, what they want, and go back and forth until you're both comfortable with the outcome. The third step is postponement. This step, whether you need to set aside time to think or not, often creates a sense of urgency. Prepare for it during the planning process and consider how you'll feel in this phase. How long do you want the whole process to last? How long will you wait? What are you willing to give up? The last step in the decision is agreement or no agreement. You close the deal if you agree on the terms, or you agree to walk away if the terms can't be met. In the process, you want to avoid desperation or being intimidated. If someone is trying to intimidate you, move on and do business with someone with higher ethical standards. Something else to consider when negotiating is culture. For example, according to McGraw-Hill, Israelis tend to argue, so a heated emotional negotiation is accepted behavior. However, that would not be accepted in Japan. The French like conflict and tend to take a long time in negotiating their agreements, and they aren't concerned about being liked. The Chinese also drag out negotiations, whereas Americans can be impatient and eager for a quick agreement. In South American countries, as well as Japan, there will be no task accomplishment without a prior relationship. Moreover, Russians tend to assert their ideas with power more than with influencing tactics, and they view concessions as a sign of weakness. In Italy, relationships are valued more than tasks or negotiations, so it's important to network and build relationships first. Hopefully you have a better understanding of networking and negotiating. If you're interested in learning more about related managerial topics, you can read McGraw-Hill's Human Relations, 12th edition, or find my books, Rockstar Manager from Theory to Practice, Mindset, a research-based approach to understanding motivation, or my latest book, Be Your Best You, the ultimate research-based guide to outstanding leadership. They can be purchased on Amazon and at most major retailers. Thank you for your time. Be your best you and be a rockstar manager.